What's up, everybody? This is your boy Andrew Schultz from Flagrant 2. Oops. Setup is such that I realized that we are in Flagrant 2, but we are not. Let me restart again. What's up, everybody? This is the Illimitable Experience Podcast, recording its 50th episode today. Hi, Dev. Great big feat today.
Yes, after a very long and hard-working time, we reached 50th episode.
Indeed. I mean, the time we started, that is
In July 2021.
July 2021, and I still remember few dates that it was only on 24th of June 2021 that we had created the channel and converted the Instagram ID to the podcast page, and it was only on the third, if I'm not wrong, that we recorded the first episode.
3rd of July.
3rd of July, and the 5th of July was the date when we first uploaded the episode. Right, so that's quite. I remember it vividly. Now, Dave, I think nobody has asked us, or even we haven't talked about this on the podcast, that in the month of April 2021, right? Something was going through our heads that acha kuch karna hai, let's do something. But we did not know what to do. But I think it was telepathy between us that both of us said the same thing, ke yaar podcast right? Let's start the podcast. Now, for me it was for me to understand myself कि अच्छा मैं podcast क्यों बोल रहा हूँ कि podcast start करते. It was sensible decision because I had graduated and I had the connections that I could bring up. But what was going through your head that made you think कि यार podcast would be a good idea to start?
Okay, actually, days before that, we had a conversation that we should do something together so that we stay connected. Unlike most of the brothers and families in this generation, they are not as connected as they are. But if we start something together, we will have to also grow it together. We will be growing together. So that time I was like, I don't know what to start yet. But after that, you were also watching a podcast during that time, the Joe Rogan podcast. So that idea came to my mind because you said you like talking as well. And I wasn't as much as showing my face on camera on a public platform. So guys, face reveal, behind the scenes guy, so that was going on in my head, because after that, see, you could talk to people, okay. I can also talk, but I cannot talk professional because I haven't reached that stage yet. Okay, I am still a student, I am still a second year BBA student. So I haven't reached that professionalism yet to have a conversation with such professionals. Maybe in the future, after I start working, after I have friends who have done something in their life, who can share their experiences, they can also come on podcast, and that time I will be hosting. So other reason was I didn't have anything to do during that time because the exams were online and everything. So I was like, why not start something and also learn something during that time? Even though it's a basic thing, it's not a basic, but still digital marketing, then video editing. I haven't done a very a big project on video editing. It's just basic video editing. So that at least I started from there, but I still have a lot to go further.
Right.
So let's see. Yes, I just wanted to start a new thing.
Wow, that's quite thoughtful of you to think in a way that to be honest, that is true, the first one that you pointed out.
Not only we think that, but even your friends also who came on the podcast, they are also like, oh wow, you two brothers are doing a podcast together. You have someone with you to start and continue the podcast, to grow the podcast. You have your friends who also started a podcast but didn't get ahead because they didn't have anyone to grow it with. They were the only person working on it, and that was just a side hobby, but still they didn't have anyone to take care of the podcast.
Right. That's very thoughtful of you, and I think it's quite mature of you as well to say that number one, yeah, we are living in those times where लोगों को individuality and staying alone, sticking to their social media, own personal accounts have become so important that they have forgotten to maintain meaningful relations with the people that they have to maintain, right? Your brothers, sisters, cousins, family, friends, etc., etc. That's very mature of you, and yeah, that's true because I think. I think the time the pandemic started, right? A lot of people started posting on this LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm doing this course, I'm doing that course, certification, Udemy, yeah, everything. So
That's all useless.
it's useless actually. And I was like, okay, and I also got into that fandom a little bit. I did one or two courses, but then I realized, okay, bro, this is I think I'm only doing for posting it on LinkedIn. There is no benefit.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. FOMO mein kar raha hu main. And I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do this. Now, when we came to Dubai, right, and obviously your university had started, and I had one more year to complete my law degree. And I was like, oh man, I think something we can do because we had lots of time, to be honest. Not only because that we have moved to Dubai, but
We didn't have as much academic
pressure to do. And even if there was, everything was online and it was a little bit easier to do than the physical one. And it's like, oh, okay, look, man, we can do something. And I know it is going to take up some time of our schedule, but I think it's worth doing it, right? And obviously, those were the main reason. The reason from my side was, one thing that we realized early on when we landed in Dubai was that Dubai is a place of connections, right? The more people we are connected with, the better it is for us. And there are,
it's a place where we can grow.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been possible in Mumbai. It would have been possible,
Yeah.
but the possibility of growing is much more
It's like
better
restricted
than,
over there. Yeah.
in Dubai.
Because in Dubai, a lot of international people are living there, so it is easy for anybody to access or interact with people of different nationalities, right?
Correct. Yes.
And I saw that was my perspective कि यार अगर हम international guest को भी लेना चालू कर दे, right? Okay, which I think by this time we should have done it. Okay, and I think it will be done.
It will be done sometime. Yes.
Right. तो I think we can do excellent because Indian podcast का क्या है कि I think they invite Indians only, right?
Yes.
But rarely I have seen somebody inviting for a foreign guest. Now it's not that we need to seek validation from them, from foreigners, but it is a good combination, right, of both
Yes.
Indians and the foreign people to come together under one umbrella. Wow, that is a great way to start.
And the thing you said about courses, like everyone was doing courses, during these 50 episodes, we learned more than we could have learned from, courses. Because the variety of guests we had,
Yeah.
the variety of guests, we wouldn't have, gained this information without starting this podcast. We would have been, law, business. But right now, we know about so many fields.
Right. That's true. I mean, people. I mean, ये काफी cliche thing है बोलना, but what they say, right? कि starting anything that you have put your thought to is more important than making it perfect from the level one itself,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
Because nobody can do that, and if somebody can do that, then I mean, I don't know what to say to them. But yeah, and the another thing that you rightly said was that now that we have met a lot of people, right? We have interacted with a lot of people, and when every time I get the first, it's like a screening process that I do, which is like 30 minutes long, and I get to know the guest. So जब भी when I'm getting acquainted with the guest, there hasn't been one time there hasn't been once that I must have missed out talking about you. That although this is how I always tell my guest, okay, that although I am the guest, I am the face of the podcast, you're talking to me and I'm the host, but there is someone who is working alongside me, and he is my younger brother, and he takes care of the video editing, the channel management, thumbnail making, the part that I tried doing that, but I realized that it's not something I can do consistently. Those kind of thing, right? And people are always in awe of the fact that these two brothers are making it really good. It's not big right now. That's let's
But
be honest.
still working.
But we are doing
Still
great.
working.
50
Yes.
episodes. It's not a cakewalk for anybody. In that too, we haven't repeated guest once.
Just once.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So that is really, I'm really proud of that fact that we're working together on this one. And this is from my side, right? When we started video editing, the first episode, I think if you remember, after the episode was processed by Zoom,
By Zoom.
हम लोग ने वो episode चालू किया and उसमें volume नहीं था. And we were like, oh my god, एक तो पूरा चालू किया, record किया, and there is no volume. But then we realized
It was
कि अरे Bluetooth
connected
से
to
तो
the
headphones
headphones.
connected था, इसलिए नहीं सुनाई दे रहा था. So that was kind of a relief for us to say कि अच्छा, it's a good start. So we started like that. But initially we started with, I think, the basic video editor.
The video editing we started was with Canva. Like
Yeah.
it was the go-to site for every graphic designer.
Right,
You can use Canva. You are a graphic designer.
Right, exactly. And the silly thing was, I didn't know the Canva के साथ क्या हुआ था कि we purchased Photoshop already, thinking that
Yes,
उसमें हम
that
thumbnail
was-
बनाएंगे, and I think we wasted money over there because we did not use it.
Mhm.
And then we got to know that Canva offers free premium membership to students.
To students.
And then we purchased Canva for free. तो वो Photoshop पे तो पैसा गया, वरना वो हम starting से ही video editor में डाले होते हैं. But
it's fine. It was a learning curve.
yeah, exactly.
We didn't know at that time because we were just starting, so we can't think about that now. कि अरे we missed that. We shouldn't have done that because it's been a year and now we have what we need.
Right,
So it's not a problem now.
right, exactly. Yeah, I mean we did not even have anybody to consult to, right?
consult to, yes.
कि
yes.
यार ये इसका क्या फंक्शन होता है, फोटोशॉप का क्या फंक्शन होता है, वीडियो एडिटर का क्या आई मीन वी नो व्हाट वीडियो एडिटर इज, बट उसमें क्या क्या फंक्शंस वो प्रोवाइड करते हैं, राइट? सो दैट्स अंडरस्टैंडेबल एंड आई थिंक दैट्स ट्रू, राइटली सेड, इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ द लर्निंग कर्व. नाउ आई थिंक द वे, let me tell you how I have seen you, right from episode 1 till this episode. Your growth, growth curve when it comes to video editing has been steady and always up. I haven't seen a downfall in your curve,
Quality,
right, in the quality. And why I say this, because whatever I have told you, okay, why need this, I need this, I need that, right? You have been able to execute it and show me कि अच्छा this is possible to do, right? And reason भी ऐसी क्या होता है, I am the one who is like consuming content more right now. Reason भी कि मुझे host करना है, मुझे लोगों के साथ बात करनी है, तो I should be able to know what's happening around, right? And मैं ज़्यादा content consume करता हूँ, and I have seen how people are editing their podcasts, right? क्या कितना frame change होता है, कितना thumbnail कैसे लोग thumbnail बनाते हैं, द वॉइस क्वालिटी है, कहाँ पे खुद का वो ब्रांडिंग के लिए अपना लोगो होना चाहिए, ऑल दोस लिटिल थिंग्स दैट वी मिस आउट द रेगुलराइज, बट वी नोटिस इट. तो इसलिए मैं तुम्हें बोलता था कि अच्छा यार, आई वांट दिस टू बी डन, आई वांट दिस टू बी डन. एंड आई वुड से इट वाजंट इन ऑर्डर कि ऐसा करके ही दे. And I think I always give an explanation कि why we are doing this, right?
Yes.
And that has always been my thing कि whatever I say has to be justified. ऐसा नहीं है कि छोटा भाई है तो उसको कुछ भी बोलो तो वो छोटा है इसलिए कर देगा करके, right? That hasn't been the relationship while working on the podcast.
Yes.
And now that you have also given little bit of input in video editing, right? I believe that the input will increase over time. And I think there will come a time that all I will do is just send you the episode, and you will edit it the way you want it to, and the way that fits the podcast as well, not the way you want. and keeping the brand in mind, the theme in mind, you'll edit the video and then you will just upload it on the channel, okay, and I'll get a message कि हाँ episode uploaded करके, right? So I believe that will be true someday. But great growth. I'm really happy the way you are editing the episodes, and I think it's fantastic for a person who is, for a student who is at this stage of his life, right? And he's able to operate on Canva, on Windows Video Editor, on Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro. And is there anything else that I'm missing? Any kind of video editor? No. Then Canva you're able to operate on. You have to start know to make thumbnails now. So these skills are really important for the person who is pursuing your course, because this is the boom. Like 2016 was that year when everybody started to realize the importance of internet. अभी सबके पास internet आ गया, तो वो considering digital marketing, YouTube पे content डालना, ये यहाँ content डालना, Twitter पे word form में content डालना, it has become really important, and I think you're learning the right things right now, right? What would you like to say?
So yes, as you are speaking about the growth, okay, so you said like how I have grown, but I don't know if you have noticed or not, but how have you grown? I still remember the first episode or the initial episodes. There were like times when you weren't able to, like flow the conversation in a smoothly. But after like 10, 12 episodes, I don't know, but how you did it, but the episodes were in flow after that. The episodes, like, it wasn't like very, abrupt ending to some question or answer or something. But there was a smooth flow between the questions as well as the answers, and it is very difficult to make someone comfortable to open up on a public platform.
Correct.
Okay, there are, I don't know, thousands of people watching the videos. Okay, so it is very difficult, or not difficult, but it is a challenge to make them comfortable on the public platform. So that was a very great job that everyone, like each and every guest of ours, was comfortable with you, even though they were your friends.
Initially,
they were
right?
friends, but after that also, when we started calling guests that we didn't know,
Correct.
they were also like quite comfortable. Okay, so that is very a good thing that you have grown into.
Correct.
So yeah, so we both have grown, even the podcast has grown, so it's good, it's going good for us.
Right. I still remember them that in the initial episodes, right? If you look at my facial expression, it is let me explain to you, right? It was like, have you watched Cillian Murphy, right? If you look at the interviews, the way is most of the time is just unamused and nonchalant about everything. Just like he's like kind of zoned out as to what is happening around him, and he answers only when he's asked to answer
the question.
Right? That is the kind of expression that I had on my face most of the time. And it's true that because even now when I look at the episodes, and I do realize कि यार bro थोड़ा change your expression, थोड़ा ऐसा change your expression. It's like
it was a very like serious expression, like you are supposed to smile. Okay, that also I made you notice that you are not smiling on the podcast. You are just looking at the screen and just doing like this. So that okay, but that's fine. It's not a problem now. But still, that was after that you reduced it a little bit.
Right.
So yes, now it's better.
I'll tell you when I realized that I had started to do well hosting the guest, right? Obviously initially तो क्या है friends हैं, इसलिए they were telling कि you made me feel very comfortable and I enjoyed on the podcast. But the thing is they're friends, right? So they'll always tell you good thing about yourself, and hype you up, right? And sometimes those hypes aren't real. So it's like a fake compliment. So I'm like, okay, I didn't take those ones seriously, right? But here is the thing that happened, right? It was only in November when I was supposed to host Belief Jaren, right? And those were the guests that Kairav had set me up with कि इनके साथ बात कर, इन लोग को मूवीज़ का काफ़ी एक्सपीरियंस है and you'll enjoy totally doing this episode. Now क्या हुआ कि just 2 or 3 days in advance and I gave them a reminder like I always do saying that अरे ये Saturday को episode recording है तो ये time पे I'll share the link. Okay. And as it turns out Jaren told me that अरे मैं तो कनाडा जा रहा हूँ यार ये वीकेंड पे या ये फ्राइडे को any of those days I won't be able to make it करके. तो आई वाज रियली सरप्राइज्ड कि ऑलरेडी क्योंकि एडवांस में हम लोग ने बहुत डिसाइड करके रखा था नाउ इज टेलिंग मी ही इज गोइंग टू कनाडा. नाउ ऑब्वियसली दैट्स अ रियल रीजन सो दैट्स अंडरस्टूड. बट नाउ इज लाइक अरे यार कंसिस्टेंसी टूट जाएगा अभी. ओके बिकॉज आई वी वोंट बी एबल टू अपलोड द एपिसोड. नाउ as it turns out both of them are really great guys. Okay, not only because they have been the guest on the podcast, the commitment that they had given, they stood up to it, right? So here's what happens, right? I told them अरे bro but you had given your commitment on this thing, so मैं ये weekend block रखा था. If you would have told me in advance I would have rescheduled the episode. And now then Belief steps in, right? Belief, now obviously this is only the first time I'm talking to him. Belief, Venugopal Shah. He says, Manan, don't worry, what we'll do is let's do an individual podcast. Okay, I'll come as an individual, and 2 weeks or 3 weeks later when Jaren has settled down in Canada, that is when we can the two of us can do the episode. So I'm like, great, this is great commitment, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि back off करके बोल दिया अरे मेरा problem नहीं है. ये commitment दिया था तो he is fulfilling that commitment somehow. तो great guys, इसलिए मेरे को वो time से वो incident से I realized कि this is a great guy, right? And वेनु के साथ पहले कभी बात नहीं होता और जो हुआ था that was particularly based on movies,
yeah.
right? And we start the moment I press the recording button, right? And the episode went on for like 1 hour and 45 or 40, I don't know, some 50 minutes.
Yes,
I don't know,
yes.
remember the exact time as well. But bro, that episode, I was like, oh my god, I am able to talk to a stranger for 1 hour 40 minutes straight without even getting up for a loo break, right? So that was the episode when Belief के साथ when I realized कि यार now I'm doing a good job hosting people. Obviously उसके पहले you told me कि after only 10th or 12th episode you already told कि now you started to do well, but तब मेरे को इतना लग नहीं रहा था कि I am doing well. वो episode के बाद मेरे को लगा कि no, I am really doing very well करके, because it was like totally, it was all in something that I am interested in. It was about science, it was about music, it was about philosophy, it was about people, it was about growth from being a nobody, or I would say, ऐसा college days में कैसे लोग ऐसा they are introvert and insecure about what will happen in the future, right? From that phase to doing exactly what you love, both of them, me and Belief. So that fit really well. And उसके बाद I did not look back. अभी तो expression अभी सबको बिठाना ही है करके. So that is what something I enjoyed. Now one thing that that we kept in mind was consistency, right? We started off great. 6 महीने we did not break our consistency, right? From July to December, right? All 24 weekends जो होते हैं, 24 weekends को upload हुए हैं episode. That is the exact count of episode. Then came January. I think it was our academic semester exam.
Yes.
And I think this was
because of that we had to pause the
post. I think it was the first time after pandemic that it was offline exam.
Yes.
Right. So that is when we had to stop. So that was obviously not under our control because we don't want the academics to affect the podcasting or either mutually exclusive रखते हैं. ऐसा नहीं एक चीज़ दूसरे को affect करें. Then came February to April. वहाँ पे भी we did fairly well, not very well but fairly well. Then तो the consistency April से लेके June तक we had broken because I was in India for like about 6 weeks and there are other things that I had to deal with which required more attention than doing the podcast. Right.
Yes.
So that is also excusable in my opinion. I don't know what do you have to say. Is it excusable?
Yeah, of course, because you had your things to You had to finish those things off before
Yeah.
coming to Dubai again.
Correct.
So yes, of course it was excusable, but even for that, we thought that array we should record on weekends only. We should record on weekends only. We had so much free time. At that time, we didn't think of recording the episodes before the time.
Right.
We never thought. I don't know why it was right in front of us, but still we didn't think about it, and we were just thinking about doing it on weekends. So that was also, I don't know, it was a realization when you were in India only. No, after you came back from India.
No, actually, this was before India.
Before India.
Yeah, because before going to India, I had already texted 4 guests that let's record the episode in advance because I'll be in India and I don't want to miss the consistency. बाद में all you will have to do is just repost everything, right?
Yes.
So I think by the time it was March end या March middle week तक हम लोगों को realize हो गया था कि we can record episodes in advance.
In advance, yes. So that was a very foolish thing of us to holding back ourselves to not pre-recording the episodes. So that was a great realization, and because of that, we have ample of episodes right now in our drives. In our drives. So yes, it was okay, but it's okay. That's also a learning curve during the podcast.
Right. Now the thing is, I don't think we are taking the pressure to succeed in it. That is the reason we are realizing and we are making the incremental changes that we are making. Because अगर वो होता कि अरे अभी जब तक ग्रेजुएशन है तब तक ये करना है तब तक वो करना है we have to do, so I think the pressure wouldn't let us think with a clear mind, right? And we wouldn't be able to make the incremental changes the way we are making in editing or in thumbnail or in scheduling the episodes as well, right? So I think without pressure we are doing, that's why I think we are doing very well. And that is something that we have known कि यार जितना pressure लेते हैं, the pressure is like we are trying to live the future in the present, and when that moment of future comes that we have already lived for, is again we have to live it again. It's like we have to live the same situation twice, right?
Yes.
कि अभी मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि 2 साल बाद में 100 एपिसोड्स रिकॉर्ड कर लिए होंगे मैंने, वो मैं अभी सोच रहा हूँ, अभी तक 2 साल हुए भी नहीं है, सो आई एम ऑलरेडी लिविंग इन दैट इन माई हेड. एंड 2 साल बाद जब हम लोग ने सच में 100 एपिसोड्स रिकॉर्ड करते होंगे, आई हैव टू रिलिव इट अगेन. तो वो टाइम में मजा भी नहीं आएगा कि ऑलरेडी मैंने रह लिया है वो सिचुएशन. तो दैट इज आई थिंक we shouldn't take pressure about it, but great one. Now they want a personal question. You came to Dubai, you started university in Dubai, you observed your peers, the students that have done their schooling in Dubai, or maybe in India as well, but they have migrated to Dubai, now they're starting the university in Dubai. What was how were you feeling back then when you started university, okay, when you had not started the podcast, okay, and how are you feeling right now that we have recorded 50 episodes, all of them have been edited by you, all of the thumbnails have been made by you, and that too we have changed the thumbnail twice, right? Instagram handling that you are doing. How do you feel right now about the fact that when compared to your peers, obviously we don't want to make the comparison first of all, but there is a क्या बोलते हैं वो skill advantage आ गया है, right, in you. How do you feel about it?
I don't really know. Yes, of course, it feels great, like doing things that others are not able to do at my age. But some people have their own sets of skills. Like we have great dancers in our batch. We have singers. We have cricket players. We have all kinds of people.
Correct.
But no one is like hosting their own podcast. Okay, so that was not like superiority or something, that they are not doing anything and I am doing a podcast. No, it was never like that. I never boasted about my podcast कि अरे आज इससे बात हुआ. It was never like that, but I had to learn these skills for myself. Okay, so I don't really care what they are doing. Like whatever they are doing right now, whatever they are learning, I didn't really care about it because of course I was new here. Okay, so I didn't have much friends. So I was trying to make friends with everyone.
Correct.
Like let's make the most of it. With no reason. So I was being friends with everyone. But as the years passed, as the months passed, not years, it's just been 2 years. But as the months passed, and as
you get to know people.
Get to know people, and you get a direction like where you are going. Because in the first year, I didn't know like what I had to do. Okay, I just came here BBA because I was not capable of doing science. So I did BBA. Okay, so I didn't know what I would be doing after BBA or during BBA or what I would be doing in masters in or specialization in. I used to tell a friend of mine that I wanted to do HR. Like before the podcast.
HR, okay.
Okay, and the main reason I was saying to do HR was that I wanted to fire people. Okay. Because I just wanted to say like you are fired or something.
Like okay. Donald Trump.
Yes. So, but I didn't know that if I didn't do HR and I would start my own thing, I would still get to do that. Okay. I would still get to do that. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Because it's my company, my wish.
Yeah, correct.
So I was thinking about HR, but then after 1 year only we started this podcast. So after that I had a sense of direction. Like, oh wait, now I think I have to go in this direction now. So yes, so I chucked the idea of pursuing HR. It was very disappointing for myself that I wouldn't be able to fire anyone. But still, inshallah in the future. But yes, so I never compared myself to my friends or someone. Okay, because they had a different life here. I had a different life in Mumbai. We had a different life in Mumbai.
Right.
And the struggles that anyone went through are not similar.
Correct.
Okay, so I never compared myself with my skills to some other person who did not have those skills but had other kind of skills. Okay, so it was never like that. And in fact, my friends only who were there when we started the podcast, they were the only one who supported. They were the first of our subscribers.
Right.
So it was a good thing during that time. So yes, I am still thankful for that we started off with them and they shared our podcast also, and we gained around 100 to 100 subscribers in a month, I guess, because of them.
Correct, right.
So I'll be thankful for that. But yes, I never thought of myself being ahead of them.
Achha.
So yeah, so
Right.
that's I don't know if that answers your question or not.
No,
but
that's a great answer. I mean, the way when you said that we are the two of us. Let's say you and take some X person, right? Both of you have had lived a different life, different struggles. So obviously, to make a comparison is an unfair way. We can if somebody really wants to compare, then we can say maybe like academics may compare.
Academics, yes,
because there
because
is
they have the same platform,
right? So that is understandable. Number one again, when you said that the first year you were talking to everyone, right? वो I think college में जब भी किसी का start होता है, so everybody is like super excited to just be around people, right?
People, yes,
we are
yes.
just.
But as the time goes by, we just want to be left alone. Like, just leave me alone. I don't want to be with you. It's difficult from that to this,
right? And I think everybody wants to fit in when the university or college starts. It's the first day of university is difficult. Probably the first week, first month is also difficult because everybody is getting to know. In 1 month, I don't think anybody can judge a
Completely
person's
no.
personality कि अच्छा I know how that person is exactly. Unless कोई बहुत ही बड़ा कुछ इंसिडेंट हो जाता है कॉलेज में या कांड हो जाता है जिससे किसी का ओरिजिनल पर्सनालिटी दिख जाए कि ये मिस्चीवियस है या फनी है या समथिंग लाइक दैट, राइट? So it's very difficult to be well versed with the people's personality that you are around with. It takes a time, and obviously people learn about that, right? People find their own groups, people find the temperament that matches with other people, and the people group ban jata hai. But again wo jo fit in, what happens is you withdrew yourself from that part, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is क्या होता है कोई बार ना, अगर कॉलेज के 3 साल हो या 4 साल हो, whatever the course somebody is pursuing, right? It's like people never realize कि कि उनको क्या चाहिए. People continuously try to fit in, and then when the college ends, in university ends, right? तो उनको पता चलता है कि यार मैंने तो दोस्त बनाया ही नहीं, मैंने तो ये किया ही नहीं, मैंने तो वो किया ही नहीं, because in the with the aim of doing everything you forget what you actually want to do, right? कोई बार click हो गया तो हो गया, but most of the time नहीं होता है, and that really puts people in the very dark place कि यार मैंने 4 साल ये कर दिया, oh my god, and 3 साल ये कर दिया. But it's a good thing to withdraw. It's a good thing to realize at an early age that not everybody. It's not that we can acquaint ourselves with everyone.
Yes.
But not everybody के साथ अपना temperament या अपना likes dislikes match होगा. Not everybody can be our friends. People can be acquaintances, right? But not everybody can be friends, right? So that's a very important thing that we learn. Now Dave, let's jump right to it, right? We have recorded this is the 50th episode, so we have a lot to talk about, right?
Definitely, yeah.
कैसा होता है कि I think you are the one who has listened to the episodes more than I do, right? Because for me to be able to host a guest, I have to be genuinely curious to talk to that person. मुझे अगर थोड़ा भी ऐसा लगा कि repetitive होता है, then my mind shuts off. Okay, it's like I know this what he's talking about, but that has never been the case. इसलिए मैं guest को भी कभी-कभी बोलता हूँ कि मुझे सब details अभी मत दे दो. When I'm screening with the guest, सब details अभी मत दो. Just give me a rough idea of everything, right? So that I know where to take the conversation. Thankfully, nobody has felt that this is a rude way to talk to anyone, because I justified with the reason कि देखो ये reason है इसलिए, because जब भी हम record करते हैं ना फिर बंदे को समझ जाता है guest को कि या बंदी को कि अरे ये सच में ऐसा बोल रहा था कि because the conversations are totally unscripted. We don't know what questions I am going to ask. The guest also does not know what the question they are going to be answering. So out of all the 50 episodes, we'll categorize it, right? Which one is your personal favorite? Which one is something that
it was the most
informative, which is something that gave us what should I say, figures or stats, right? Numbers अच्छे खासे दे दिए episode ने, and which was it? Which were like कैसे बताऊँ अभी? With light-hearted episodes, नहीं informative है, नहीं.
बस it was like good to listen
to, right? So 4 categories: personal favorite, which is the second one? Informative. Third one?
Numbers and figures.
And or joyful to listen to. Okay, you go first. Your personal favorite.
Okay, so my personal favorite would be the episode with Manas Gira.
Okay.
And that's obviously for personal reasons. Okay. So we have been playing football, watching football ever since I can remember. Okay. So Manas Gira is the guy who used to come on TV in the pre-match show.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
In the La Liga matches.
Correct.
So he had a show named Gupshup with Gira.
Right.
In which he used to convey the messages of Indians to the people who are watching all over the world.
Correct.
So he was basically the voice of India.
Correct.
For football. After him, in some matches I saw Gurpreet Singh Sandhu as well. Okay, he is the Indian goalkeeper. So even he started going on the pre-match show, but that was probably during the COVID times. So, okay, Gurpreet Singh Sindhu was there, but the first guy who I saw who was, asking, who was talking from India,
Uh, uh,
he was the guy who was representing India. Okay, so that was like, I never knew that I would be seeing that guy right in front of my eyes talking to me. Okay, so that was very, I was very happy about that episode, even though all the episodes were good. Okay, but Manas Gira's episode is my personal favorite because of
Personal
the
reason.
personal reasons. Yes,
Right,
because
right.
I love football. Okay, so and he was also, he was very chill and calm, and he was very friendly during the recording as well.
Right.
Okay, so that also I liked about it, and yes, so that was my personal favorite episode.
Right.
So, which was your personal favorite episode?
Again,
No bias, no bias.
not my favorite episode. Again, no biases. And since it is my personal favorite, I think it has to have some personal reason as well,
Yes.
right? So I think there is not one episode that is my favorite. The one with Belief is something that I have loved doing it, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think it did not get as many numbers as it deserved.
Deserved.
But I personally watched it many times. And my number 2 episode, and this is again goes back, is a personal reason. Back when I was in school, I was terrible at science. Alright. And I mean terrible as in terrible. If I show you my 10th grade mark sheet right now, okay, and my marks out of 100 in science, which is an aggregate of physics, chem and bio, is 69. So that is the thing, and so now I was terrible at science. For me, it wasn't that I did not like to study the logical part of it. I don't know why I was terrible at it, but they say that the reason why students don't like a few subjects or a certain subjects in school is not because they don't have the curiosity or the ability to learn. It is because the teachers did not teach them very well, right? And I think that is true over here as well. And from that person who was terrible at science to a person who is now being able to have a conversation, and which is not like a khayali pula, right?
Yes.
The conversation with Bhavin Javade, who is a PhD student in University of Buffalo, and his specialization, his topic of PhD is AI and machine learning with computer vision. And when I was talking to him, right, it's like every how should I put it? Every judgment that I put on myself that I was a terrible student at science, that just went away with every minute of that episode. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not because because conversation, conversation कर रहा है तो क्या सब आ गया क्या? No, it's not because of the conversation. It's because of the fact that first of all, I have a curious mind to know कि अच्छा मेरे को ये समझा. I don't have the the arrogance to say कि I know this, you don't have to explain me this. अगर नहीं समझ में आता है तो मैं पूछ लेता हूँ, या मुझे समझा तो मुझे नहीं समझा है. Even at this age when I'm 25, people are assumed to have figured everything out. I don't know. I have to figure everything out. Things are out there, people are out there, talk to people, watch content, I don't know, but we have to figure things out, right? That is number 2. And number 3, I am a lawyer, and to be able to integrate law with what he has done, that is computer science, artificial intelligence, that was the breaking moment के bro मैं मेरे एक तो खुद के फील्ड में भी competent हूँ, मैं दूसरे के फील्ड में जो competent है उसको भी मैं उठा रहा हूँ और मैं दोनों को mix कर रहा हूँ, saying के let's figure out something to do like this, right? So that was really breakthrough. It's a big breakthrough for me. That is why I said it has personal reason attached to it. So that is why that is my personal episode. And I think one big credit has to go to one of the podcasts that I listen to, and it goes to Lex Friedman. Right? I don't know if he'll be listening to this podcast randomly कि उसको ऐसा impression दिख गया कि अरे ये कौन है बंदा जरा देखो, and he's listening to this and he has listened to this part, or maybe I'll cut this part out and then I'll tag him on Twitter, right? To that it was Lex Friedman, that the way he talked about science, the way he explained science, and the analogies that he used made me fall in love with science. Okay, that hatred, that fear that was there कि अरे मैं science में terrible हूँ, मैं science नहीं कर सकता, ये नहीं कर सकता, that is no more now, right? And ये एक episode है now. I don't know how many I'll be recording with people from the science background of like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science. But I think we have already recorded one with Rushabh, who is a data scientist as well. Obviously, we did not dig deep into what he does actually, right? But I get the knack of what he is doing. Then we have recorded episode with Kairav as well, where he explained what he does. Again, he is an engineer from same University of Buffalo. So to be able to understand what they are doing now, okay, to be able to understand how their education helped them do what they are doing now, and I'm able to understand that, makes me really relieved to know that I am really enjoying science, like people say it, because science people love science, physics though, chemistry though, maths though, they love it because it's all logical. So that is why I have started to feel very well about it. And now I don't pass a judgment on myself that I am terrible at science. Yeah. So that is a personal reason attached to it, and that is why I have loved these two episodes. And conversation with engineers have always been one of the finest conversations that I have done. Right, I thoroughly enjoy talking to them, and if they are able to explain it via analogies, right? Then
it's even better.
It's even better than it's like a cherry on top of cake. मुझे सब समझ गया, you know what I mean, right? So that is something I love. Most informative. Second category is the most informative episode that you found. Which one is yours, the most informative one?
Oh, that's a difficult one, because we have been getting information in all the episodes, so it's very difficult to select one out of it.
If it's difficult, can I go first?
Yes, of course, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll go first because I do have the most informative one, right? The one with Anand Patel.
Yes, I was gonna say that,
right.
Like from law background.
From law background,
yes.
IPR. Anand Patel is an IPR lawyer in Mumbai, and the way he explained IPR, right? And he actually got into IPR accidentally, not by choice. That's what he had to say while on the episode. Really great guy. Examples भी काफी अच्छे दिए थे उसने. Case studies अच्छी दी थी. Overall great. That was really informative. And the second informative episode, most informative episode that I thoroughly enjoyed was with Ajinkya Raut, the dentist.
Yes,
right?
yes, correct.
I mean, लोगों को लगे अरे डेंटिस्ट है उसमें क्या है, मैं भी जाता हूँ रेगुलर डेंटिस्ट के, वैसा क्या नई चीज़ है ये एपिसोड में. No, we dug into the history of industry. We dug into the history of toothpaste, the history of brushes, how the marketing companies pivot you into thinking that
they are recommending that
this is the best that you have to do for yourself, whereas that is not true, right? You don't need probably 17 or 20,000 rupees worth of toothbrush to clean your teeth, the one with Bluetooth and everything, right? So that was really informative. Overall, it was a lot of history of dentistry, and it was also about what is happening currently in the dentistry industry. Yeah, so these two were really informative. I mean, there were other informative episodes as well, but this is at the top of my head right now.
Yes,
Right.
exactly, because we cannot sum up or give a ranking from 50 of our episodes,
Right.
and that too the variety. If it would have been like based on only one field or something, it would have been way easier. But having so many other people from other fields, it is very difficult to select one. So one right now on top of my head is Ashutosh Singhal.
Right.
Ashutosh Singhal.
He's as old as you, 20-year-old guy.
Yes,
Right.
yes, and he is very talented, very smart, and very good person. And when we had a conversation, even though most of the things went above our heads, but still it was quite informative. Like whatever we understood and what we understood, and the things, the way he was explaining or telling us things, his experience in France, in IIT and everything, it was very informative, and it was an honor to know about all that.
Right.
And yes, that's for now. Yes, right now on top of
Top of
my
the
head
head,
is
this is
it's
right.
Ashutosh Singhal.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, that's even I agree to that. They care. It's really difficult to rank an episode depending on what is the best in category or numbers and everything.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
50 episodes से sometimes it really go top of the head कोई का episode रहते नहीं है, right? Number one. Number two would be since we aren't following a niche, we are following a niche which is general.
General. Yes.
हमारा niche ही general है. हमारा niche ना CAs है, ना lawyers है, ना सिर्फ dancers है या businessmen है. Our niche is everything under one umbrella. So ऐसा justify करता भी नहीं है कि कौन सा हम लोग best दे. Ashutosh Singhal, right? I remember when I was recording the episode with him, right? He the guy talks like a machine gun. He is such a fast talker that it sometimes you have to be hyper focused to know what he to be
saying.
able to listen what he's saying. Because अगर कुछ miss हो गया and
You won't be able to understand the context.
Yeah, context समझेगा ही नहीं. So that guy is like a machine gun when it comes to talking. So although that was I somehow managed to talk to him, and it wasn't that difficult, but it was a challenge to talk to him because it was very quick and I had to stay on my feet all throughout the episode. Like after the recording, I thought that I had already recorded episode of 2 hours, nearly 2 hours. But when I saw the Zoom had processed the episode, I think it came to 1 hour or 20 or
15 or 20
15 or
minutes.
20 minutes in that
Yeah.
bracket. So I was like, damn bro, that guy gave an information worth of 2 hours in a span of 1 hour to 15 to 20
Not
minutes.
2 hours. Information of 2 years. His years
Oh
in
yes,
university.
2 years in IIT Delhi. Damn
In
bro.
IIT Delhi. Yeah.
Damn, my
In just
God.
1 hour and 15 minutes, he told us about his complete experience of IIT.
Correct.
And that was very fascinating. And also, I don't know, I'm running out of words for him right now.
Right.
But it was a great episode and a great guy, a really great
Great
guy.
guy, man. Great guy. I really liked him totally. Now, I think
The third category is
really pleasant to
hear.
joyful to
Pleasant
listen,
to
right?
hear, yeah.
Do you have something at the top of your head?
Yes, when you mentioned this category, the first episode that came to my mind was Daryl Saldana.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was amazing.
Lovely.
It was amazing. Like, it's not too much informative. It's not too much formal also. But it was you pleasing to listen to the conversation. So for me, it was Daryl Saldana's episode, which is like soothing and calm and peaceful and like that. So which one is for you? I was going to say Manas Gira again, but I cannot put him in two
categories
categories,
at the
so I
same
had to select someone else for this. I'm sorry, Manas.
Right, so I think this is one I'll say, right? The one that I recorded with the voiceover artist. So
Sayuri, yes.
20 years old she is, and she has been doing dubbing since the age of 5. Really pleasant to talk to, right? उसकी voice ही वैसी है that you know that is a how should I
That
put
she
it?
might be a dubbing artist.
Yeah,
She will be a dubbing artist.
yeah, like that, right? वो डोरेमोन का ऐसा क्यूट आवाज होता है. So it was really pleasing for me to hear her voice, इसलिए मुझे वो pleasing लगता है. Number 2 would be the one that we recorded with Jaren and me.
Yes.
Purely focused on movies, how people watch movies in a different way, right? I got a better understanding of movies, how the cinematography works, the various world-class directors like Christopher Nolan, how does he direct, the cameras that he uses, his style of direction, his style of storytelling. Obviously, there's a lot of Christopher Nolan in that episode, but overall view काफी अच्छा था. Yeah, but one thing that I would like to add personally now is that the surprise factor, the wow factor, that kind of guest. 2 guests I have top of the head. Okay, for everything I don't know why I have the number 2 for everything. 2 guests. Number 1, Astha Thakkar. Right?
Yes.
I recorded an episode with her, and damn, she's 20 or 21. She has authored 3 books. The third one is in process, on the verge of completion, and she'll be publishing it on Amazon. The 2 other books are already published on Amazon, available on Amazon. She teaches creative writing. She is a well-read person of her own religion, mythology, Mahabharata,
yes.
Ramayana, and the Bhagavad Gita, and the Puranas and the Vedas. Well-read. So that is really amazing coming from a 20-year-old. Now wow factor उसमें क्या लगा मुझे? Because when I was talking to her in the screening time, right, I thought कि okay, a normal episode होगा. She's 20-year-old, and I kind of underestimated her because of the age factor. Okay, will she be able to justify coming on the podcast? ऐसा लगा था. But she blew my mind, right? And I think I told her while recording this episode as well. I honestly underestimated you, and I apologize for the same thing. Reason being that you are only 20, and I didn't know if you would have more to give to the episode. I told her this thing. It's on the episode, but she was like, "Oh, it's okay, no problem. But I'm glad I could break your, I could break your judgment, to prove you wrong."
Yes.
Not heavy, not exactly those words, but in those way. So that is something that I learned. Don't underestimate people based on their ages. I have recorded episodes with 20-year-old guys as well. He is 20, so I am already working with him. Ashutosh Sehgal is 20, Astha Thakkar is 20, Sayuri is 20, and I've also recorded people double my age, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, double my age, or 10 or 15 years elder to me. So ages don't put age as a factor
for anything.
राइट वो 20 साल की लड़की ने यार 3 बुक्स लिख दी Amazon पे बिकती है वो बट और I mean that's a lot. I mean to be able to even write 3 books, I mean you need to have first of all so much of information in your head to be able to put it to words, then to refine those words, and then to do the publishing and the cover of the page and blah blah blah, those kind of things. So book writing is a huge process, right? And number 2, I approached this guy, his name is Prakhar Gupta. Looking at his Instagram profile, I thought that he's a professional violinist, okay, and which he is a professional violin player, that is no doubt about it. He has been learning it since the age of 10 or 12. Now when I'm talking to him, he tells me, मेरे मुँह से निकल गया कि I believe you are of the same age, right? 23 or 25 वो वाले age bracket में होगा. तो he's like, bro, I'm not that old. Okay, and he goes like, so how old are you? I'm only 22. I'm like, okay, इतना कुछ फर्क नहीं है. So it's like, I asked him, what do you do then 22? So he's like, CA है, first attempt में clear किया है. I'm like, okay, that's really great. Congratulations on that. Now he drops the bomb. He says that in February, I just completed my CA final this year in February 22 or 21. I don't remember I don't recall the exact year. And he says, I cleared with a rank. I'm like, oh damn. He cleared with a rank CA AIR 22 if I'm not wrong. CA final.
Wow.
And then he says, तो मैं पूछा कि उसकी एक बार रैंक आया तो I always assume कि किधर और भी रैंक आई हुई होती है. तो मैं बोला और किधर लाइक CPT CA फाउंडेशन या IPCC में तेरा रैंक है. बोला yes bro. बोला कौन सा. बोला CPT में आया था. I don't remember the rank now, but he told he is a CPT ranker and he is a CA final ranker. So I'm like, mind blown, bro. You are the guy to come on this episode because Illimitable. So that was these two guests completely surprised me. Great guy, great people as well, and thoroughly enjoyed talking to them. Now Dave, you have talked a lot of good things about the whole episode, right? Good things, you have done this, that, blah blah blah. We have done, but let's not forget that there are things that that happen in the back stage, but we don't talk about it because we don't believe it is something that it's relevant to the guest, right? Guest को उससे नहीं, I think फर्क पड़ता है कि क्या हो रहा है, right? So what can do you remember any setbacks or anything that you recall which was like a problem and then we solved it, but we overcame that problem quickly, we did not pay so much of attention to it, but we stood up to our commitment कि हम ये weekend पे करेंगे तो करेंगे episode.
I don't think I remember any of the setbacks right now.
No. I remember one very clearly. When we are about to record episode with Janvi and Parvati, which is episode 9 or episode 10. Either of them. I don't remember the number. 10.
Episode 10.
Right? You were supposed to record the episode on Saturday and I think on Thursday or Friday, either of those 2 days. Our building caught fire.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Fire brigade was called. Everyone had evacuated the building. It was, I think, in July only last year in 2021. July, August. Right? Yeah. Around that time, and it's the peak summer of Dubai. We were afraid because it's the first time we were facing such a situation but then we got to know that the small fires are a regular thing over here because of the heat,
yeah.
High temperature. Sometimes some wire melt or some metal melts and then it causes the fire. I don't know the exact reason, but something similar and that had happened back then as well. And since the first time we were really afraid, we called up father के अच्छा यार बिल्डिंग में थोड़ा बहुत आग लगा है, फायर ब्रिगेड इज हियर, policemen are here, what should we do, people are evacuating the building and everything, and we're like okay, I'll come to pick you up guys, because it's heat, so we'll go some other place where there is a chilled AC, we can relax, we can come back, and then until then they must have dealt with that problem, right? And that's what happened. We went out, we chilled, we came back, the situation had been resolved. As then we realized it wasn't a huge fire, but there was a fire in the building to the extent that we had to evacuate it. So hats off to the policemen, hats off to the fire extinguisher guys who came on time and dealt with the situation before it got out of control. That is one situation I remember very clearly. Do you remember anything else that any other problem? No? I think now that we are so much focused on just recording the episode and putting it out, such minor inconveniences aren't something that we pay a lot of attention to, and that is why we aren't able to recall it. Obviously, we have faced setbacks, but right now we don't remember it. But this is something we remember very vividly because
I don't remember the setbacks, but I remember like how foolish we were while recording the episodes and
only in the
uploading
beginnings.
it. No, when in the beginning, but only in the beginning, when I used to listen to the episode and write down the caption manually. That was I don't know, that was the dumbest thing I ever did, because I didn't know that YouTube can, there are auto subtitles as well.
Right.
So I was typing manually. I was giving a friend of mine also to do it. So it was it was a foolish thing to do during that time. And then after for video editor also, it was not a setback, but it kind of created a problem sometimes.
Yeah, just extended the entire process.
Yes. Now that we have a professional video editor, it takes not more than 1 or 2 hours to edit the complete episode.
Right.
But when we didn't have that resource, it would take a lot of time. I used to get so frustrated. Okay. So in that, there was a thing where we used to add subscribe. So I never did that myself. Okay. I never did that myself because it was very frustrating. After all the editing and everything, it was very frustrating. So I used to give it to Khwahish. Okay. So she's good at it. Okay, and she's a little bit patient also. So she used to do it in half an hour or something, and then she used to give it to me. Like, okay, thank you so much. So I never once did that subscribe thing on Canva. So thanks to her as well that we had those subscribe subscribe pop-ups during those episodes. So yes, so that was also foolish thing using Canva. Okay, for doing all that. But still, I didn't know much about the other video editors, but still she helped me in it, and it was good.
Right.
So yes, these are just the dumb things we did in the beginning. So yeah, I don't know if there are setbacks or not, but
Right.
yes.
Yes, that is true. We did a lot of silly things which we thought it's really important, but it's not really important. Subtitles are that you rightly pointed out. Subscribe that even I got to know today that you didn't ever did it yourself. So again, another thing would be, what else did we do really foolish? Yeah. I think Canva used to extend the video editing process a lot.
Yes.
A lot. I remember.
It would take 4 to 5 or probably even a day
Right.
to download just one episode of it.
Right. And I think it was the highest, the peak frustration that we reached was
During
when
Shreyansh's episode, yes.
Oh my gosh, holy! I mean, the peak.
It was frustrating. It was very frustrating because first of all, we did a lot of work in that episode specifically. So even after doing that much, okay, it wasn't downloading, and the day was coming closer and closer to
Right.
upload the episode, but it's still not downloading. But I don't know in the end how we downloaded anything, but yeah, we uploaded it in the end.
And yeah, I mean that was the peak of frustration, and yeah, I mean those silly things are gone now. I believe we are on the right track.
Right track. Yes.
I think because I do believe it's strongly that we are on the right track. Reason being that even when I was recording episode with Kaira, right, things that he was telling us, we were unconsciously doing the same thing. It's just he put it in a structured way. Structured way. That is how we realized कि अरे वो बोलते हैं ना कि दिमाग में बत्ती जल गया, right? वो चल गया. I think we are on the right track now. All we need is I don't know. I don't say that's the only thing we need now. I think we'll need more things as well. But one thing is, because consistency is also on track now, we I think will need pushing the episode is something that we need to work on. Because guest का भी problem नहीं है, episode का consistency का problem नहीं है, video editing का problem नहीं है, right? So all the major problems are solved. Yeah, are solved.
And problems that are under our control.
Our control, right? That's all. And I think we will certainly figure out that all that as well steadily. I am not taking any pressure कि जल्दी सब change करना है. I mean that's right? It's about what Kaira was telling. It's about the incremental changes that brings the success. ये छोटी सी बात है कि हम कैप्शन पहले मैन्युअली लिखते थे और फिर डालते थे, ये वो करते थे, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. गेस्ट का भी जो प्रॉब्लम था, ये एडवांस रिकॉर्डिंग का जो हमने बाद में रियलाइज किया, तो ये बात इतनी छोटी है कि बाहर से कोई देखेगा तो बोलेगा अरे इसमें क्या, ये हाउ वाज दिस अ प्रॉब्लम. बट व्हेन यू आर फोकस्ड ऑन determined to record the episode and upload it, तो कभी-कभी we miss out on these things, right? And it's only on the later series that we realize that bro, I think we are wasting our time on this, on XYZ thing, and we need to make this process shorter. Right? Even with thumbnail goes the same way. पहले हम लोग का thumbnail इतना simple था,
it was a very simple
guest का photo बड़ा सा एकदम, guest का नाम, episode number और सिर्फ अपना type podcast. That's it. इतना सारा blank spaces मैंने आज तक नहीं देखा था. Right? Then I think in November or December we did a little bit of improvement कि थोड़ा descriptive बनाने गए. But also वो भी इतना कुछ मज़ा नहीं आया. Right? वो हमने खाली 2-3 महीने रहने दिया. But right now the ones that we are using is attractive, number one. They give branding भी हो गया.
Informative as well. Like what is there in the episode.
Episode गया है. We have a description as well कि ये episode में क्या हमने बात की है. And it has my photo and the guest का photo, which is my photo reason being के consistency के ये बंदे जो कर रहे हैं ये बंदा है, right? वैसा वाला. It's like saying कि अभी समझ लो कोई random video देखे, even without the title, और उससे अगर समझ लो क्रिस्टियानो रोनाल्डो का photo है, तो you will know कि it's about the video is about football, right? You don't need to put a lot of effort to make a guess. ऐसा. So that is one of the slight changes that we need. Now I think Dave, we should talk about the branding of this podcast, right? What the podcast stands for, what it is, because not many people have asked us, number one, and it's not that we are offended with it, but it's okay. But it does stand for something. There is a reason we put in so much of effort to make this logo. There is a reason we put so much of time to find the right word for which suits the theme of the podcast, and there is a reason why the channel description जो है वो काफ़ी unique है. So I'll go with do you want to explain something or
you continue.
I think I'll explain this. So if you look at this logo, right, if you look at it closely, it's a photo of a lion originally. On the left side, over that side, you can see a younger version of the lion. On the right side, you can see the older version of a lion, right? Both mixed together, right? Now, what does that mean? It's order and chaos, right? Order is something where things are clearly defined, where things are predetermined कि अगर ये करोगे तो ये होगा, if this works then this will happen, right? It's easy to predict the result of something in an orderly state, right? To put it in simple words कि अगर पढ़ाई complete करोगे, अगर डिग्री ले लोगे तो जॉब मिलेगी. This is order state. ये हर जगह पे यही चलता है, no matter what country you are in, right? So that is order, and chaos is where things are unknown to right? It is a place of novelty where you might find something new that somebody else must have not seen, and it is all the it's a place of creativity, right? Because creativity comes from chaos. When people are sad or when people are going through a phase of life where they don't know what they are doing, it is when that creativity pops up in human. So that is the chaos part of it. Now if you are too much into order, right, it degenerates into chaos. Now let me explain to you. uh, what happens is, अभी समझ लो, we are living a life that is like consist, like ऐसा graph जा रहा है, right? So there is no fun in this life, right? It's going plain, simply plain, no adventure, no fun, nothing. So after one point of time we will become obsolete, because the things that worked 10 years ago won't work 10 years in future. तो अगर हम वही customs या वही traditions या वही mindset को लेके अगर बैठे रहते हैं, तो हम काफी obsolete हो जाएंगे. We won't be able to progress in our lives. Okay, and if you stay too much into chaos, which is not a good place to stay into, it will make you crazy, right? It will make you anxious. It will make you doubt that what the future holds for you, and that is also not a good place to stay. So what is an ideal place for someone to stay? It is balance, where there is not so much of order as well and not so much chaos as well, and both of them are combined. It is balance, right? Because this is what I believe: every order degenerates into chaos, and every chaos revives into order, right? अभी creativity का अभी समझ लो, right? Let's take this example of podcasting. 2007 या 5 से चल रहा है. वो टाइम पे जो रोगन ने स्टार्ट किया था 7 या 9 के आसपास, and वो किसी को पता नहीं था that people can make money out of it, right? Nobody knew that podcasting would be a source of income for people, but it is because that person went into that chaos. He stayed in that chaos for 10-12 years, and now he has come into an order where it is commercialized, right? Where everything is now predefined. कि अभी गेस्ट आते हैं, I upload the episode, I ask these questions, I make money out of it. Now people are getting attracted to that form of source कि अच्छा अगर मैं podcasting कर रहा हूँ तो मैं पैसे भी कमा सकूँगा. So that is how the cycle works, right? And this is exactly what I am trying to point out here कि both order and chaos have to be together. पूरा order में नहीं रह सकते, पूरा chaos में नहीं रह सकते. Because too much of either of those two is not a good place to stay, right? So balance is something that that is portrayed over here. And you would say, why is that the older person order and why is the younger person chaos? Now the elderly people, right, are quite judgmental about the younger people. Okay, oh, they are doing silly acts, they are being silly, they are doing this. So they are like imposing an authority on the younger people. Okay, don't do this, don't do that, because why? They understand कि अगर ये करेगा तो इसका consequence अच्छा नहीं होता है, right? But at the same time, since they are elderly people, a lot of their opinions have been worn out, right? So they need to stay in touch with what's happening around them, and that comes with chaos, which is the younger version of the lion, right? Both of them are together. इसका मतलब क्या होता है कि the elder lion जो है, which is order and which is a judgment, will prevent the younger lion from doing those stuff that are silly, that are stupid, that might not have long term benefits, right? अगर younger lion regularly he drinks, goes out to parties, तो वो elder lion का काम है कहना, because he is the authority over there. And अगर ये जो older lion है वो काफी judgmental हो गया to the extent that he or she is constantly being what is the right word, cranky about everything. So it is the younger lion's duty to tell the elder lion कि look, there are more things happening in the world. It's not everything, everything does not revolve around this elder lion as well. तो दोनों अगर जब मिल जाएंगे ना, तो balance will be created, right? It's like a perfect relationship between parents and kids. Too much of listening to parents also will put you in a place where you aren't completely yourself, right? Too much of listening to parents and parents' approval and parents' opinion and whatever parents say that is right, and too much of ordering the kids also from parents' side will only lead the kids to become only subservient to an authority and pleasing to the authority. They won't be able to think for themselves. तो वो दोनों का मिक्सचर होना काफ़ी ज़रूरी हो जाता है. Okay, so that is why both of them combined resembles balance. Now you might say the word illimitable. Now illimitable जो word है, that is something that we don't use in a regular conversation, right? No, मैंने भी कभी सुना नहीं है, and I believe you too must have never heard in a conversation कि I am illimitable or that project is illimitable. तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है illimitable का? Now illimitable means something which has no limits or something which cannot be measured, right? And that is exactly the theme we have been following right from the beginning. कि we won't limit ourselves to calling only or inviting only those guests which have fancy degrees or which are lawyers, because I am a lawyer, or because somebody is into digital marketing तो उनको बुलाएंगे because Dave is into digital marketing. No, we wanted to bring all the types of people from all the walks of life under one umbrella, and that only happens when you don't limit yourself to just who you are, right? अगर मैं lawyer हूँ तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं सिर्फ lawyer के साथ ही बात करूँगा, right? I'll talk to everyone because they also must have learned something in their life which applies to everyone, right? Obviously career के बारे में नहीं, but life में, right? So that becomes important, hence the word illimitable, कि something which has no limitations. Even with the conversation, that is how we do. There is no particular questionnaire that we have with the guest to share. Okay, these are the particular line of questionnaire that you will be given, and you have to answer that. No, because वो conversation काफी restrict हो जाएगा, right? You have to be able to
go beyond those
conversations. कि hi, how are you? How is it going? Ha ha ha. Right? It's only a form of politeness, right? Hi, how are you? What are you doing? उसके beyond क्या, right? So that is when you go beyond those conversations, you get to know who that person is, what that person believes in. Hence the word illimitable. And I think Jordan Peterson puts it very well in one of his interviews with Kathy Newman, which he did around, I don't know which year he did it in, but I can't quote him exactly. But I'll probably attach the video in that, and they will take care of the video editing. So that is really stuck with me very well. So hence the word illimitable. Now you will ask why only black and white is the color of the logo, is the color of the T-shirt that you wear while recording, because in all the episodes that I have recorded, I have always worn only one T-shirt, and which is black color, no other color. In the initial episodes, I used to wear different colors for different episodes, but after probably 12 or 13 or 15 episodes, I started to wear only black, and that too only one T-shirt that is specifically meant for recording of episode only. I don't wear it regularly when I'm at home. I don't wear it when I go out. No, nada, nothing, khalas. And black and white, because I'm a lawyer, where black and white is the color that lawyers all around the world share, and that is why black and white. Plus it is classy as well. Black and white, any other color would make it, I didn't want to make it very eye-catching or what should I say, very hitting in the eyes. I wanted to keep it classy, subtle, and yet stylish, and yet able to catch eyes. So hence the black and white. The third eye, if on the forehead of the lion. Now in the Hindu mythology, it is said that third eye, everyone has a third eye, which is how should I put it? Which is an opening to the higher, higher self or a higher transcendence. I don't know if I'm putting it correctly, but that is what it means. Even the Lord Shiva has a third eye, which when he opens, he is. What happens there when the third eye opens? Tandav.
The world.
The entire universe, everything gets destroyed. That is what happens. So that is the power of the third eye. It's a spiritual resemblance that we have put here with in the logo, which means that we want to transcend spiritually as well when we are putting out the episodes. So that is what the third eye stands for. And excuse me if I have not been able to explain the third eye very well right now, because I did not prepare for this conversation as well. Although Deo and I live in the same house, we thought that let's not fool our guests thinking कि ये scripted नहीं है, but in reality scripted ऐसा नहीं है. All we did was decide क्या topics पे बात करनी है, and everything was impromptu, just like we follow with other episodes as well. And I think this is the best, and I don't think we need to change the logo, because क्या होता है when people start with a very simple logo, and then as and when they progress they want to change the logos, right? But I think we hit it off very well right in the beginning. We hit it off the logo, we hit it off very well. The channel description, we hit it off very well. The explanation to the logo, we hit it off very well. And this has been since the beginning of episode 1. Change करने का ज़रूरत ही नहीं पड़ा. The reason being that I had personally put in 2 to 3 months in trying to find a word which would aptly fit the theme of the podcast Illimitable. 2 से 3 महीने लगे थे मेरे को ये word ढूंढने में. And ये जो logo है, ये लोगो को बनाने में भी 2 से 3 महीने लगे, because वो Canva पे देव को initially he wasn't good with it. So as and when he became good at it, I used to tell Dev it's time to change the logo करके. And this is what we put as a virtual background when we record the episodes. And yeah, that's about it, man. I think you're not a guest, Dev, but
Yes.
it's really great that you talk so well coming on this podcast, without hesitation, confidently. And I'm really proud that you have become this Dev that you are, with skills, with the way you speak, with your driver's license that only you have but I don't have, right? And it's been a great journey with this 50 episodes, and we intend to grow illimitably. हम लोग ने कोई पर्टिकुलर गोल सेट नहीं किया है कि हमें 3 साल में ये करना है या 4 साल में ये करना है. All we know is that every weekend we'll upload the episodes. We'll upload the reels, we'll upload TikTok, we'll upload clips of the episodes consistently. That's it. That is the only goal that we have. I don't know when we start even making money from it, because लोगों को लगता है कि पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हैं तो अरे अब इनका ब्रांड एसोसिएशन बढ़ जाएगा, बट ऐसा नहीं है. We are leaving it up to the future. What the future holds for us, we don't know. But हमें सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ पता है कि we will stay consistent every weekend, and we'll keep coming up with guests that you will have never seen before. So yeah, that's a wrap, guys. बंद करें.